Hello, in this video I'm going to talk about maximizing the use of your characters and a system that I'm kind of starting to put in play on my own roster of characters. So let's get right into it. First off, if you're wanting to do this, there's a couple of things you're going to want to do first. Number one, you're going to want to make sure that you redistribute and clear out your champion tree points, and then redistribute and clear out all your skill points, and then also respec your attributes and clear all those out. And I'll just go through essentially what I'm going to be doing here with my characters individually. In the past, I bought at least a couple of armory slots for each character, and so now with the inclusion of subclassing, as well as now we are able to respec our attributes and our skill points on the fly. These armory slots now have effectively just become whatever you are slotted in on your CP tree, either a DPS or a healer or a tank. Now, one small caveat, when you get up high enough into the CP ranks, you could use one armory slot for all three roles because you have enough points to do that. But I'm going to go through and talk about how we're going to do this to where we can make a PvE tank, healer, and DPS on every build. And that is also going to include the use of the Wizard's Wardrobe add-on. And if you're not familiar with that, I'll walk you through that a little bit on this as well. But first off, what I need to do is I need to clean off the armory stations here to where my old builds are no longer there. So how you can do that, we'll start off with the DPS. Now, one thing also, you got to switch your Mundus to the proper Mundus because the Wizard's Wardrobe will not switch that for you, and the Armory does retain that information. So if you look down here at the very bottom of your build, it does retain your curse. So if you wanted to be a werewolf on one of these or a vampire on one of these, you could retain that if you want to, and you don't always have to be a werewolf or a vampire. You can use your armory to cleanse that off for free if you want. So the other thing is it will save your outfit and all that too, if that's important. But right now we currently just consumed the Thief Mundus Stone. So I'm going to save. Okay, well, let me really quick touch on the champion tree that I have. I've currently completed everything in the green tree because that's going to pretty much not change regardless of character. And in the blue tree, I've only filled in all the passives here. I didn't go in and fill in any of the slottables at all. They're all passives are filled in. And then with the red tree, I pretty much did that same thing. I just filled in all the passives. The only exception is I slotted these two because I pretty much wear these on every build regardless of what I'm doing. So I did fill those in. And so what that does is now I can go in to the armory here, and all I have to do in between saves is change the Mundus to the proper Mundus that I want to use. So now because I'm on the Thief Mundus Stone, I can come in here to the DPS build here and hit the save button, and it will clean off that build right there. Oops, I forgot to take off my gear. We'll take off the gear first, unequip the gear really quickly, and this gives us a really now we'll save the DPS build. And there, now it gives us a clean, no attribute points. Most of the champion tree is filled in. So there you go. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to change my Mundus to the ritual. And we're going to do the same thing on the healer. Now you're going to want to update all of these first before you do anything, because then you'll have your CP saved in the proper spot, and then you can start going in and tweaking with the other stuff. So now that the healer is updated, we're going to go back here to the Atronach, and we're going to get that for the tank build. And I'm on an Imperial right now, so he's primarily going to be a tank, but the idea behind this is if you ever wanted to just maybe run a dungeon and nobody else is on, maybe you want the skill point, it's going to be kind of a pain in the butt to run him through there and not get any damage. So I want to be able to do that. So here we are. We're going to do the tank build real quickly. So I'm not going to do the attributes here yet because I don't have the gear put on him. So we'll just go through and put some gear on him so that we can kind of see where we need to put the attributes. I usually, for tanks, I try to get at least 40,000 health on the maximum health. That really is kind of the sweet spot, in my opinion. And how you figure that out is you have to have all your gear on first so that you know where your max health is from all your glyphs and everything. So I would recommend at least putting the gear on first. And then another thing you're going to want to do is make sure that your armor points are all in. But we're going to respec here. I always recommend respec. Just start off respeccing right away. So we're going to subclass into Soldier of Apocrypha. We'll replace the summoning. Make that a runic sunder taunt, and then we want the big shield. Buy all the passives. And then I'm going to go with the Templar, Restoring Light. And we're going to cover up Storm Calling and get the big ritual there. Buy all the passives. Okay, and then we're going to go into Dark Magic, and we're going to buy Dark Deal. And we'll go down to Sword and Board. Defensive Stance. Power Slam, all the passives. So once you get your weapon and your armor in, then you can also going to need elemental susceptibility and pulsar. Okay, so now we can go do the attributes as soon as we get the armor passives on and the gear is on. The other thing I would recommend that you have is your Undaunted passives in. That'll affect your maximum stats as well on the Undaunted metal passive. And your racial passives may have some maximum health as well. So, all right, we'll just stop there with that. And as you can see, when you use the respec like that, it goes a lot faster. You don't have the screen coming in to confirm. You can just pop the points on and off. So now that we've got that on, we've got the food on, we'll go to our front bar. We'll see where we're at with the maximum health. There we're at 38,000, so we'll just put in 15 right here just to see where we're at. And there's 40. That's a little bit. Let's put it at 24. We'll see what that does. A lot better. Maybe 26. That's a little better there. Keep a few points. What you want to do, then I like to go to the back bar and check. And put in a little bit more. Get kind of close to 40,000 on your back bar. That way, you're not dropping so hard on the front bar, on the back bar, and then your front bar gets a little bit bigger here as well. And so now we've got the Mundus figured out, the attributes figured out, the gear is on, and we kind of started the skills. I'm not going to do the slotting and all that, but then you can resave you can do your champion tree points. Go into your regular Slottables here, just like you would on any build. and save whatever you want on the build. And then what you can do is you come here to the armory, and then you can update that part. And you can go through as you want on every setup here and set them up how you want configured wise. Once you have it configured how you want it, I do need to finish filling this in so that I can show you how to do the wizard's wardrobe. So we'll do that. I have pretty much everything slotted here. So I'll just figure out the slotting here as well. Put bracing anchor just so that is on. Okay, so now we've got at least all of our slottables on. And let's check our wheel here. We need to slot our food and a potion. Okay, so once we have that, just check my add-ons loadouts. I don't think I've got the right one on, so we'll just put that on. If you haven't used this add-on loadouts, check out my description. I'll put the link in the description on how to use that. It just switches out your loadouts to a specified configuration of what you want to use for certain activities. It's really awesome. So now we're going to go into the wizard's wardrobe really quickly. All you have to do is have your build set up how you want to save it. So first off, we need to slot the skills where we want them. So I'll just do that really quickly. All right, so now we've got our skills slotted with all of our passives and everything. So we've pretty much got a build set up here. So now, once you have all that on, all you have to do is go into the wizard's wardrobe like this. Let's say you wanted to set up AA for the trial. So I've got this set up as kind of a boss build really quickly. All you have to do is switch this to trials and then find the trial that you want to do. Then you can name the build. If you've got a specific build, we'll just call this main tank for the sake of this video. Okay, and you can see there, then it shows up as main tank when you come up here. You can put several different builds on here. You can just create another page like this, and then go to page 2, and then name another one. And then when you want to load builds, you just cycle through your pages, come down here and equip your setup. So you go to the main tank here like this, and then when you're saving it, you're going to come all the way down here and pick which fight you want this build to load on. And so right now this is the trash build. I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go to the first boss fight, go down 2 and hit setup. Go up, change the boss, go down 2, setup. Go back up here, change the boss, go down 2 and setup. Go up here, go over and change, and then save the boss. Now, as you can see on the right-hand side of the screen, every boss fight is now saved. So when I get done with a boss fight, one of the things that it'll do is it'll auto-equip my trash. Auto-equip trash after every boss fight. So, and there's the auto condition. You can go whichever condition you want. And then you can change this as well. So as you can see now, when you walk into AA, this will load your build. I've displayed that on several different videos. I've got multiple videos on the Wizard's Wardrobe if you're interested in this. I'll just put my whole playlist on add-ons. There's multiple videos on this as well because it's a little bit more detailed add-on. I think it takes a little bit more, but it saves your quick slot bindings. So also, if you look at the build on there, you come into here. Let's change it here, and then you scroll down. It saves your CP and your food, as you can see. So you do have to you'll want to have your food active so that it saves that, but it saves your gear and everything and your skills. So basically, you can just have a build auto equip when you have the page active, and as you can see on the bottom, the Wizard's Wardrobe is active there. And then if I wanted to have the build named on the tab, I'll just equip this. And now you can see on the little tile there just below my Magicka meter, it says Lightning Storm Atronach. That's the first boss in AA, and it says AA main tank. That tells you exactly what builds you have equipped. So you can change that even inside of the trial or instance that you're in. But what this does is it allows you to use this as just your basically how you have your CP slotted, and then you can save all your builds inside the Wizard's Wardrobe, and it really opens up a massive amount of flexibility for your characters. So rather than having 3, 4, 5 tanks, however many you have, you can build one piece or one set of gear total, and then keep them in your bank or keep them in your coffer in your house like this. And then before you go do your content, you pull the gear out that you need, and then you can load your armory and go into the trial and pick what build you're going to run on. So that gives a really massive amount of use for your characters because now you can just focus. These are essentially CP slots because the attributes and the skills are free to respec on the fly now. So give that a try if that's interesting to you. I will say it becomes a lot more easy to use just one armory if you're just up and around maybe 32 or 3300 CP. I'll just go ahead and save that so that's updated. As you can see, there's a build saved now, and then I could reload this or equip this and then start working on the healer if I wanted to. But that's how I'm going to work on my characters. I just thought I'd share that idea in case anybody might find it interesting or helpful. So if you thought this video was helpful, please consider liking the video and subscribing to my YouTube channel. I have over 300 videos on the Elder Scrolls Online. They're all organized by created playlists. So if you go to my YouTube channel, go down to my created playlists, and that's where all of the videos are organized on. You can find them by the subject and then locate the stuff that might interest you. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in another video. Bye.